So talk to me about write-off. I'm brand new in this. I'm watching this podcast. I don't know much about taxes. You're saying I could write stuff off, right? So when I write it off, does that mean the government is giving me my money back? What does that mean? Because I paid for it.
Right.
So I already paid for it. So money out of pocket. So talk to me about that. What's the benefits? How's it work? How my money show back up? I don't understand. Tell me. Make me understand.
Okay. Before explaining that, I want to say, like, when you're setting up your business, like, there's like a number. I want to say it's like NACA. So like the importance of that number is that it will tell the IRS, hey, listen, this is the game that I'm playing.
No doubt.
Like, like in life, we have all these different kind of games. We have football, basketball.
Yeah.
So like that's letting the IRS know, like, hey, listen, this is the game that I'm playing.
Yep.
And then the IRS say, hey, listen,
Here's the rules.
here's the rules to the game
Yep.
that you're playing.
Yep.
So like these are things that you can consider ordinary
Yep.
and necessary.
Yep.
Because those are two words that the IRS describe as being as that you can write off.
Yeah. So let's go back to that, because that's a key point, and I want to make sure it's underscored and everybody got it. Keon just said, before we even get into all that, you want to make sure you get your NACA code, right? Say NACA code. I think it's NAIC or something like that. To tell the government, to tell the IRS what game you're going to play. So then now you both have the same set of rules set up. That's key right there. All right, go ahead.
So from that NACA code, now you can, the IRS is going to say, okay, these are ordinary and necessary expenses that your business should have. The IRS, there's a big book, right? Like a book of all these rules. And a lot of people, like the normal person won't read the book, but it's called like the Internal Revenue Code, and you also have internal Treasury regulations.
I've never read none of that.
You
never plan to read none of that.
You don't even want to. For real. Yeah, it's crazy. Like the book goes into detail with like whatever business you are operating in, and then what you can write off for those.
Okay, that's dope. That's absolutely dope. So then I get that code, let them know the game that I'm playing. I'm good by the rules, and now I start writing it off. So tell me what that equals. Like what like how does that work? I wrote off $5, but again, the money I already paid for it. So do I pay less in taxes? Talk to me about the benefit and the importance of the write-offs.
Yeah, so the write-offs basically is, all right, now the government is saying, because so this is interesting, because the way that this world will, or like the way that the United States was designed, it was designed in a way to benefit people who are investing into the restructure of the United States of America. So it's important to be an entrepreneur. And it's important to like have these businesses that you are operating in, so that you can like have the government, when the government say writing off, now they're saying, okay, you had this expense. Now we're gonna like give you money back on this expense. Now, like dependent, and it's hard to say exactly how much that is, because it's really designated by how much income your business made. But let's just use like a conservative number. For every dollar that you spend on your business, the government will give you back like 20 cents. So like that's how, like, but it's really based on income, because if you make 100,000, if you make $1 million, 2 million, like those numbers are different. So
you want to be on that spectrum. You want to somewhere in that middle towards writing off as much as you can, because you want to keep your money in your pocket. You don't want the government holding your money, which brings me to this topic that we might chuckle about a little bit, right? I don't want, this is just Shomari, and it's my podcast, so I can say what I want when I want on the podcast. So I'm going to say, I don't want the government giving me a tax refund. I don't want a refund at the end of the year. Negative. In the best case scenario, I just want zero. I haven't had zero in a really long time. I'm always paying double digits, but I don't want a refund. And my logic, and I'm going to ask Keon to check me on this, my logic is, if you're giving me a refund, that's money that I could have had in the market all year that you, the government, made money on that I didn't make money on. Check me on that, man.
Yo, it's crazy. Like, what's crazy is that, like, when you start to make like money, it's so it's kind of funny, because a lot of people live for the refund.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like you don't want that, you know? Like that's like me giving, like, for example, that's like me giving a stranger like $100 just to save for me. And then at the end of the year, they give me back the money with no interest.
Exactly.
It's like the government will charge you interest if you don't pay. But they don't want to give you interest on the money that you're overpaying them. And that's crazy to me. Like, yo, you do not want a refund. You want to make that number as low as possible, because what that means is that your cash flow, you're taking that cash flow from your everyday life, and you could be reinvesting that into different stock portfolios or other cash, like assets that can generate, you know, like money for you. That might be a down payment on a house. You always want the money to be moving. You know what I'm saying? And when the government takes that money, it's not moving. So now you got to wait in order at the end of the year for them to like give you the money back that you overpay. It's the most like growing up, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I had the resources. So like I just understood like, oh, like at the end of the year, like my mom does taxes, you know, like you don't get a refund. It's like, I'm like, and I never understood it until I went to school for accounting, and I started to work in these like these financial consultant spaces. And I'm like, yo, like that's bad. That's bad business, because you want to make sure that you got your money to do what you want to do with it. And if they taking it out, I'm telling you, like,
but it's a mind shift change, because I can't front. I'm where I am now is not where I was before when I was younger, and how I grew up. A tax refund was the shit, right? Like it was, yo, we get some money back at the end of the year. I'm going school clothes shopping. You know what I mean? I'm taking this money, the bag that's really my bag, and then I feel like it's something that I was rewarded, when in actuality, as I got older, because life is about information, consuming as much information as you can with trusted experts around you to help you navigate, to know and understand. And once you know and understand, you can't go back. So for the culture, for the positive progression of the culture, we gotta not be happy about getting tax refunds. If we can hit zero and we just boom, but the other side to that coin is, we got to make sure that we're talking to our CPAs. We got to make sure that we're talking to folks who know how to invest. We got to make sure we're talking to business coaches and business mentors, because just because we're getting that money in doesn't necessarily mean that we're doing the right things with it, right? So we're going to help you from Keon's perspective not get that refund, but make sure you keep and stay tuned to all of these podcasts so you know now what to do with that money that you're going to be getting throughout the year, as opposed to getting it at the end of the year. That's just something real big for me, man. Mind shift change. I'm gonna use that as a segue. But first, I gotta shout out the Buffalo Bills T-shirt, though, man. You know what I mean?
Thank you
to the hometown. We definitely killing it. It's our year for the next 20 years. We taking over, man.
Yeah, we building it out.
Over.
Yo, it is
taking over, man.
It's always good. Like when I coming down here and just like networking with other people down from Buffalo, it's always love. Like that's one thing you get from the city. It's always love. Always love.
The town shows crazy love, man.